Catharsis in gaming is a good thing. It's a big part of why many people, myself included, play games at all. While some find grace in the challenge, respite in the struggle, release in the knowledge of adversity overcome, I personally get my kicks from blowing the ever-living shit out of things. Empowerment is where it's at, and few genres offer this thrill like the good old first-person shooter. Doom Eternal is great on a high difficulty, but have you ever tried it on easy? Smashing through Demon Skull after Demon Skull is a great feeling. For years though, one particular shooter franchise has flown the flag for mindless fun, and with its fourth iteration, Serious Sam continues to provide the same brain-off, trigger-finger-on feeling that made it a hit in the first place. Of course, the biggest issue with this is that the world has moved on considerably while Sam hasn't, and oh boy, does it show.
We're gonna kill us some aliens.
So there's a story, well sort of. Several years into Mental's invasion of Earth, mercenary soldier Sam Stone leads an elite team of head cases called AAA, which stands for Alien Artifact Acquisitions. Their job is to combat Mental by collecting and utilising otherworldly devices such as, for example, the Ark of the Covenant, repurposed for this story as a kind of alien doomsday device. Long story short, this sees Sam and his team, including newly recruited Man of the Cloth Father Mikhail and an unlucky rookie called Kenny, who just happens to get dragged along for the ride on the trail of the Lost Ark and the Holy Grail. To call it tongue-in-cheek would be on par with calling Sam inappropriate. It's total nonsense, so much so that occasional attempts to add genuine emotional pathos fall immediately flat and feel completely out of place. The fact that there's a story at all is a bit weird too, as the upshot of every objective is the same: mow down legions of demons and make crappy one-liners, which the team workshop throughout, of course. Even boss battles feel low maintenance, requiring little more nuance than shooting the glowing spot until everything explodes. It's not helped by creaky cut scenes with horrible animation that looks for all the world like it was lifted from a PS2 game. Characters don't move how we've become accustomed to characters moving in games. Heads bob unnaturally, arms gesticulate apropos of nothing, and the lip syncing is non-existent. But then in all fairness, if you skip every one of these scenes, you'll still be able to follow the story as much as you really need to. While all this sounds negative, I should point out that I've had a ball with Serious Sam 4. While I can't say for sure that it wasn't aiming for something loftier, I can certainly say that if it was, then it fell short, landing firmly in much more familiar and welcoming territory. Shooting stuff in Serious Sam 4 is awesome. Sometimes there are so many enemies on screen, shooting at you, charging at you, exploding on you or whizzing around above you, that it almost feels like a bullet hell, only one where the main character constantly yells quips from a 90s action movie while backpedaling like a madman. Weirdly, the button mapping sticks Sam's codex on the Y button on controller and forces you to swap weapons using a wheel. It's not a major issue, but I can't remember the last time I played a shooter on a controller where you didn't swap weapons with Y or triangle, and changing it is such a faff that in the end I just decided to learn to live with it. At certain points you'll find alien artifacts that grant you skill points for Sam's rudimentary skill tree. These skills you can unlock have zero actual context. One lets you punch enemies to heal for some reason, but these days it's not a game if there are no skill trees in it. There's nothing spectacular about Serious Sam 4. The over-the-top set pieces are silly, the scripted moments are sabotaged by the Iffy Graphics, and the level design is let down by its almost pathological blandness. I say almost because there are a few stages that stand out visually, even if the actual structure is a little bit lacking. A particular favourite is escaping an army of demons during a volcanic eruption, for example. And yet Serious Sam 4 managed to be incredibly fun to play at the same time. Weapons that fire enormous cannonballs, a shotgun you simply never have to reload, a decoy device that has a hologram of Sam yell insults at the enemy. These things don't necessarily make up for the game's shortcomings in any way, but they do make them matter a little bit less. It's a throwback for sure, and one you almost have to admire for rocking up in a flat top and romper boots in a year that's had some of the incredible releases that 2020 has. Serious Sam 4 does absolutely nothing new or original, and it's not apologetic about that. It very much knows what it is. It's an over-the-top strafe shooter with nothing to prove to anyone. It's not the cleverest in the room, but it might be one of the loudest, and sometimes that's all you need to scratch that itch. And for that reason, I'm going to score Serious Sam 4 a 7 out of 10. Hi there, Mick Fraser here. Hope you enjoyed my review of Serious Sam 4. I reviewed it on PC, but it's also available on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. If you're going to check it out, if it's the sort of thing you've been waiting for, I guess some people must have been waiting for this game with bated breath, let us know in the comments. If it's not your sort of thing, also drop in for some light conversation. We love to hear from you guys. If you did like the video, please consider hitting like and subscribe, and maybe tag that bell icon too so that you're kept up to date with every review, preview video, whatever it is that we post on a given day. We also have a Patreon which you can check out if you feel like supporting us that way. We really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us. I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.